Hey guys, we're here today in Dragon's Dogma 2, going over how to get the Archer Master skill Heavenly Shot, and the Repeller Bow, which has enhanced damage against chimeric foes. Heavenly Shot is a charged skill that operates very similarly to Dire Arrow. Heavenly Shot will drain your entire stamina bar, and will only allow you to release the shot once your stamina is gone. You will get a perfectly timed release if you release it as soon as you're able, but you are able to continue to hold the skill even while your stamina is gone in order to get better aim. Heavenly Shot is a little bit lackluster on the damage, especially considering it drains your entire stamina bar, if you fail to hit any of the enemy's weak points. When you can successfully land the arrow on a weak point, it does do some pretty devastating damage, so its usefulness really depends on how good your aim is. In order to go get Heavenly Shot, you have to do a short quest line for the elves, starting out in the city of Vernworth in the Merchant Quarter. Here, right in front of the blacksmiths, you'll meet an elf named Glyndwr. He's admiring all the bows made by humans and how different they are from elven bows. Here, you will get the option to gift him a human-made bow, which you can do by either buying one from the blacksmith or acquiring one out in the world and bringing it back to him. Once you've given Glyndwr the bow, he'll be very thankful for your generosity and inform you that he is set to take the Elven Trial of Archery, but his aim has been lacking lately and he's been looking for inspiration. Seeing how different human bows are to elven ones, he hopes that this will be the inspiration he needs to get back on track. He asks you to come to his training area and show him how to use the bow since he's never used a human bow before. When you decide to go help Glyndwr with his training, you do need to be on the Archer vocation in order to successfully do it. If you assume, like a lot of other games, that you'll be able to accomplish the quest regardless of which vocation you're on, and your character will be able to pull out and use a bow, even if you don't have one with you, or the skill to do so, you would be wrong, and your pawns will inform you of this over and over again.
Your current vocation is ill-suited to wielding a bow, Master.
Your current vocation is ill-suited to wielding a bow, Master.
Your current vocation is ill-suited to wielding a bow, Master.
And ideally, unlike me, you will actually notice they are telling you that you do not know how to use a bow, and won't waste an entire play session running out there for no reason. Once you are on an archer, and you meet Glyndwr at his training location, he will ask you to shoot some targets hanging from an archway to your east, and once you do this, you will have completed Gift of the Bow. You'll have to wait a few in-game days to meet Glyndwr again. Unfortunately, I don't know how long this exactly is, because I was on the roads for quite a long time before visiting town again, but when I did eventually make it back to Vernworth, he was again in front of the blacksmith, and he informs you that his trial of archery is coming up, and he asks you to attend. He'll have you head out and meet him near his training location again at a nearby campfire, and there he will escort you to the tucked-away Elven City. Once you arrive, Glyndwr's father informs him that the trial of archery is cancelled, as his sister, Doireann, has been kidnapped by an ogre and needs saving. However, anyone that has not completed the trial of archery is forbidden from going, so Glyndwr is told to stay behind. He, however, does not accept this and needs to save his sister. He asks you to come along and use your skills to help get her to safety. Once you meet him at the Ancestral Chamber, you will escort him in and work your way through it until you find Doireann. You'll find Glyndwr's father battling the ogre alone, and Glyndwr decides to take a shot farther than he's ever made in order to free his sister from the ogre's clutches, and asks you to get her out of harm's way. It's here that you will be tasked with carrying her out of harm's way and getting her away from the ogre. I'm not sure if she can die at this point in the quest, as I played it very recklessly and took her slightly away but in the same room so I could fight with everybody else. The ogre did not let up, however, and chased her back down, and we fought on top of her for a moment before I had to move her again. We did kill the ogre without Doireann dying, but I do not recommend this method, and you should perhaps take her a little bit farther away. Due to the fact that you have saved Doireann, Glyndwr's father approves of both his human-made bow and you, the outsider, being a friend with his son, and thanks you. And here you will have completed a trial of archery, earned 16,000 gold, a port crystal, and the Repeller Bow. The Repeller Bow says it's more powerful against chimeric foes, and I fought some chimera testing it with my Revenant Whalebow, and although my Revenant Whalebow has hundreds of more damage than the Repeller Bow, it does seem to me that the Repeller Bow outdamages it every time I fight a chimera with it, although it's incredibly hard to get an accurate test, with all the chaos from pawn attacks, and some periodically poorly aimed shots. But with everything I've tested, the Repeller Bow does seem very powerful against chimera, and I don't know how much intention Capcom put into their descriptions, but it does say it's stronger against chimeric foes, and not just chimera, so it may actually count against minotaurs and griffins or anything else mixed with multiple creatures, since chimeric is any mythological creature formed of multiple different animals. I believe that they likely only give the damage bonus against chimera themselves, but to know for sure, it will take more testing. Now once you've finished the Trial of Archery, it's time to go and get the Archer Master skill, Heavenly Shot. Here you're going to head back to the Elves' Sacred Arbor, and I recommend sleeping in the inn once you get here, because there are some variables attached to the master skill and when it is given, so if it is not accomplished how you would like or given to you right away, you can just reload in the end in case there's any problems. If you've done this Elven questline in a row, it's likely you're still on the Archer vocation, but I will point out it is not required to be on the Archer vocation in order to get the master skill, so feel free to be on whichever vocation you'd like at this point. Now for me, every time I woke up out of the inn and exited the building, the Sacred Arbor was being attacked by either wolves, hobgoblins, or saurians. This may be attached to the Trial of Archery quest, but I don't think it has any bearing on the skill, how fast you kill these creatures, or which ones spawn, if any spawn on you at all. Once you cross the bridge in the Sacred Arbor heading to the west, Doireann will stop you, but she leaves fairly quickly in order to go and check on the Arbor Heart. After this, you can head across the next bridge and enter the Arborist home, where you'll see Glyndwr's father likely walking out of the building. Although I have found him in one of the other rooms or in the main hall, but regardless of where he is, you're going to head up to him and speak to him, where for me, it was one of 3 outcomes every time I ran this. Outcome number 1 is after the trust you've built with him, he gives you the master skill right away, without any strings attached. Outcome number 2 is he asks you to escort him somewhere. Whether you accept or decline to escort him has no bearing on getting the master skill, but after the conversation, you'll need to speak to him again, and he should give you the master skill, but after I declined to escort him, it took multiple interactions from me before he would give it to me. Outcome number 3 is he will ask you to escort him and not give you the master skill after the conversation, but if I return to him in the Sacred Arbor after completing the escort quest, he would then give me the skill. If you're looking to get it as quick as possible without any effort, you can reload at the end over and over until you get him to give it to you in this building, as opposed to needing to finish the escort quest. The escort quest itself is in close proximity and does not take long, where he takes you down to Glyndwr's training area and you come across a chimera, likely so you can test out your new bow, and it will help to raise affinity with him and the elves. You do not need to have a pawn that has Woodland Wordsmith and understands Elven in order to do any of these quests or acquire the master skill, but it will help so you don't have to guess on which dialogue option to click the entire time you're in the city. Hopefully this video was helpful to you and gave you a clear understanding of how to acquire the Repeller Bow and the Archer Master Skill Heavenly Shot, and hopefully you hit your mark with any future adventures. Let me know down in the comments your experience with this entire quest line and getting the Archer Master Skill, and any strange outcomes you had or variations from the experience I had. That way we can get as much information as possible to any fellow Arisen who are looking to acquire it, but don't have things go quite as smoothly. Thanks for watching, I will see you next time.